Morning, happy Sunday. Hope you're all doing really well. In today's live, I'm going to be talking about my experience with the moon and how the moon has helped me feel more connected to myself. Before we get into it, I just want to remind you all to sign up to my newsletter if you haven't done so already. You can do that by going to my website, which is yogawithjaina.com. And if you sign up to my website, sign up to my newsletter, I just share lots of information about events that I'm doing, which are coming up. I've got an event coming up soon, and if you're a mum, it's going to be great for you. So keep an eye out for that in my newsletter. I've also got a couple of other spring events coming up, so definitely sign up to my newsletter if you haven't done already. I can see some of you coming in already. So Jaina, thanks for coming. Rupi, I think that's you coming in, and Krishma, it's really good to see you too. So yeah, welcome. Thank you for coming in and joining. So today I wanted to talk about the moon, and it was actually yesterday, I was driving home and I was thinking, okay, I need to talk about something tomorrow, my Self-Love Sunday Live. And I was thinking, oh, what should I talk about? And then the moon was just like there, like big, bold, and it's a full moon. And it was just like, talk about me. And I just thought that was like really nice to just see the moon there. And yeah, it was just like already I feel like that connection with the moon. Like I really feel like she speaks to me a lot. And so it was really nice to just connect to her in that way. And I feel like that full moon was just saying like, okay, speak about me. And it was just really beautiful. I thought it was really beautiful. So I just thought, yes. So today I'm going to talk about my experiences with the moon. And just to let you know, like I'm no expert at this. This is just something that I really enjoy doing. And I really enjoy following the moon. I feel like I've learned so much about myself through the process. And I also feel like it takes you away from thinking that you're on your own, like doing life. I think when you start to connect to the moon and the feminine, and you just start to see yourself as something bigger than just the small I, like living in this world, going day to day. There's like a whole bigger picture and a bigger perspective on what is happening when you start to connect with the moon. So how did I first learn about the moon? So I definitely feel like through my yoga practice, definitely. So if you do the practice of yoga, you'll learn about, first of all, the moon's salutation, which is very similar to the sun salutation. So if you haven't done the sun salutation before, if you haven't done the moon salutation before, that's definitely something to practice. And it's similar to the sun salutation. You're working with a sequence of movements, but they're more slower and you're holding them for more, working with your breath more. They're more calm and really like deep. I would say it's like quite a deep practice. And if you come to any of my classes, or if you've been to any of my classes, you know I teach it quite a lot because I really love it. But I also do have a really old YouTube video where I shared the moon salutation. So you can go back on my YouTube channel and have a look at that. And maybe I'll try and do a new video actually for it and share it, because I feel like my journey with the moon has changed so much. So definitely that. And then also there are breathing exercises you can do to connect to the moon. So if any of you have heard of Chandra Bedhan, which is working with the left side of the body and working with connecting to opening this center of calm, creativity, just that connection with the moon and this softer feminine energy. So definitely have a little look into that, Chandra Bedhan it's called, which is a really beautiful practice. So I think that's definitely how I started to connect, to understand that the moon is quite powerful. And I think also as we just look at the moon, like even my kids, they just will stop and just stare at the moon. And I really feel like you can definitely do that, right? You can definitely just stare, and especially when it's a full moon, like yesterday was, so Friday was the full moon. It was a lunar eclipse. So the moon was really powerful and really strong, and you could really see all the different shapes and colors on the moon. So I think you could definitely just stop and just look at it. And my kids definitely do that like a lot. And I just feel like if you're just drawn to the energy of the moon, if you just stop and look at it, then you're starting to already connect to the moon's energy and understanding its power. So I definitely feel like I can definitely do that. And I feel like as well with the moon, you can look at the moon. With the sun, you can't look at it. So it's kind of perhaps harder. I mean, I think with the sun, you feel it more. You feel like the warmth and the energy, and it really lifts your spirits. But I feel like with the moon, you can just like really look at it, and it can be a really meditative practice. And I think sometimes when you go into meditation and you take your awareness up towards your third eye, which is around here, and you start to connect to your higher intuition and guidance, and you start to visualize the moon there, it can really help to open up your third eye center and really open up your intuitive qualities. So definitely, if you ever get time to just meditate on the moon, just meditate. If you can meditate like by the window by the moon, where you can see the moon, like that's going to be even more powerful. If you can do it outside, then oh my god, that's even more amazing. I've never had the experience to do that. I would love to do that, and to just like moon bathe and meditate at the same time. I just think that would be just like amazing. So yeah, I just feel like there's so many different ways you can connect to the moon in that way. And one of the big ways that I've really connected to it, and I'm sure all of you who are here have probably heard of Kirsty Gallagher, and she is like she's like a moon teacher. She just teaches you to connect to the moon, and she's got books, like, and her books are really amazing. So like this is one, it's called Lunar Living, and she just talks about the different phases and the cycles of the moon. And then she's got like one that follows on from it, which is called Lunar Living, the journal. So in that one, she actually gives you journal prompts to do at different cycles within the different moon phases, basically. And I just find that so useful. Like, I've been doing it for probably about 2-3 years now. And it really helps me to just connect to myself, to understand my thoughts, my emotions and feelings that are coming up at different periods of the moon cycle, which really can affect you. It can really affect you, almost like your menstrual cycle. It's a very similar thing. And I also feel like when you're, like, I really follow my menstrual cycle, and I definitely know like my emotions and feelings and my energy levels can be different through the phases of the menstrual cycle. I also know that as I start to get older, I know that I'm going to go through menopause and things like that, and eventually I won't have that natural cycle going through my body. But I know that I can then turn to the moon and actually work with the moon cycle and work with my energies in that way. So I feel like that also gives me a sense of power and connection to just working with a cycle, because I feel like that's really important. So yeah, kind of going back to it. So in terms of the moon and how like the journaling works and how you can connect to yourself. So there's different parts of the moon. So there's the new moon, where it's at its darkest point and you can't even really see it in the sky. So it's at that point where you set your intentions of what you would like to create and do as the moon starts to wax and get bigger in the sky again. So you set your intentions at that point of what you would like to do, what you would like to create over the next coming moon cycle. And then as the light starts to get bigger, so as the moon starts to open up and you start to see like the crescent of the moon, and as it starts to get bigger and bigger and bigger, the light is coming in. So the moon's light is coming in. So that energy is coming into you, and it's giving you the energy to start to create what you need to create. It's giving you the energy to follow your intentions that you set at the new moon, start to make those happen. So if you set those intentions and then you start to implement them basically as the moon starts to get bigger, as it starts to wax in the sky, and then you get to the point of like the full moon, and at this full moon point, it's almost like that's the light is the brightest in the sky. The moon is the brightest. So you've got that light which can shine on different areas of your life. So it can start to bring up stuff. So it's a good point to journal, to reflect on what's coming up for you. And perhaps also a point to just like celebrate what you have sort of achieved so far in the moon cycle. So whatever those new moon intentions were, and if those have started to happen, you can just reflect on them and to also celebrate and take a moment to celebrate what is coming up for you. And then as the moon starts to wane, so as it starts to get smaller in the sky, so imagine it's full and then it starts to go down and it starts to go back to a quarter moon and then a crescent moon, and starts to go smaller and smaller. The light is getting less and less and less. So it's that point where you want to release and let go. Start to release and let go of whatever it is that you need to let go of. And that could be anything, like it could really be anything. And I think as you journal, you'll start to understand what you might need to release and let go of. It might be, you know, certain parts of your character, or perhaps you're pushing against a brick wall, against something that's just not happening, and it's starting to let go of that. It's starting to let go of habits that aren't serving you. It's starting to let go of seeing things in ways that you've perhaps always seen, and you start to release and you start to let go. And I just feel like that's such a beautiful system, it's such a beautiful system that is just created by nature. It's all natural, and, connecting to the universe, and also connecting to something that is bigger than you. And you just don't feel like you're so alone, and you really feel like you're supported. Like when you're working with the cycle of the moon, she is there to support you and start to help you create whatever it is that you want to create. And she will also show you the way. So if you're on the path of going in a wrong direction, she will help you to start to release that and let go of that. So I really feel like the moon is so powerful when we can tap into her. And I feel like in that way, I have been able to connect to myself more. I definitely think the journal points that come up have allowed me to start to see things in a different way. My perspective on lots of situations in my life has changed. I've also been able to let go of a lot of stuff which I used to perhaps just hold on to, which would just keep me stuck and stagnant. And now I definitely feel like, and I've spoken about this before, I definitely feel like I am more in my flow. And in terms of life, things just come into my life. I'm in my flow. I'm moving forward with opportunities that work for me. If things come up and I hit a wall with something, then I know I need to reflect on where I need to release and let go of. So I definitely feel like it's helped me a lot. I think Rupi's just mentioned, I'm with you. I've been working with the moon for years, and she has been so supportive on my journey. That's really good to hear. I'm really, really happy that it's worked well. She's working well for you. And I definitely feel like it can work so well for so many people. And you don't just have to be a female working with the moon. You can also be a man and connect to the moon's energy and that feminine quality. And also just to remind you as well that the moon does move through the different astrological signs too. So then it also gets more interesting. And this is a part which I'm still learning about, but it can move different parts of the astrological cycle. So then you can start to work out, say if the moon is in Aquarius, it has different qualities to say if it was in Pisces, or all of that stuff. So there's a lot more you can explore there. And then also we're actually currently in the eclipse season. So there was a lunar eclipse on Friday. There'll be a solar eclipse later on this month. And this whole period of this time of the eclipse season, the two eclipses, which happens now, and then later on in the year, there'll be another eclipse season. But it's really powerful. It brings up a lot of stuff. And I definitely feel like over the last few days, just a lot of emotion has come up for me. I've just been able to actually just sometimes just sit down and just allow tears to come out of my eyes. And I know what it's about, and I know that I need to release certain stuff, but I've found it really hard. It's really difficult. There's a lot of sadness that's come up, but I really feel like this moon is holding me to start to release that and let that go, which has been really beautiful. And I just think that's amazing. Mama Mystery Urvi, really good to hear from you. She's said, I've been really drawn to the moon over the recent years. It really does have a magical energy about it. Yeah, it really does. It's just magic. It's actually magic. It's actually working with the magic, right? I definitely, you're so spot on with that word, right? Magic. Because I really feel like the moon is so magical, and she's so beautiful. And I just feel like I'm so smiling just talking about her, because I just feel like there's such a beautiful energy that comes from the moon. But yeah, I think that's all I kind of wanted to share today. And it's been really nice to see some of you coming in and just commenting as well. It's really nice to just hear your thoughts on any topic that I'm talking about. And if you liked this, then maybe we could actually just do a session one day where we kind of journal together on the moon or something like that, because I think that would be really nice, and maybe have a moon circle. Let's see where this goes. But yeah, I just definitely feel really excited, and I think a lot of you sound like you're really excited about the moon as well. So I'll keep you posted on that. But otherwise, I wish you all a really good Sunday. I would really encourage you now, actually, maybe tonight, if the sky is clear, to just connect to the moon, have a look at the moon, and to journal around the moon. So if you don't have the book and you don't have journal prompts that you know what to do, then just journal, open up your journal, write Dear Moon to start off with, and just write I feel, and write down all your feelings. At the end, always finish your journaling with like a point of gratitude and just say thank you. Tell yourself you love yourself. This is Self-Love Sunday. This is all about love and really connecting to yourself. Write the words down. I love you. I love you. And just sign off. And I think that's just a really beautiful practice to do. And let me know how you get on. I'd really love to know. I really enjoyed talking about this with you all today, and I will look forward to seeing you all next Sunday. But have a really beautiful Sunday. Take care. Bye.